trophy. Weather rates certified 11 years in a row.
All right, and we have some storms making their way into Utah as well.
We do. That marginal risk can lend itself to a low risk for tornadoes, and we don't see a ton. We average 3 a year in the Beehive State, but some thunderstorms out there right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of those stormy views. That includes down in Iron County, Cedar City, with some clouds over the mountains and storm clouds moving through this region throughout the day. Iron County has seen those pop and drop storms, and look at Ensign Peak. Our ABC4 cameras showing the Salt Lake Valley, which, yes, we're getting storms blowing through, gusty winds, some lightning there, and some heavy, brief rain associated with these storms that continue to develop. Storm Tracker radar gives us a really good idea of what's going on throughout the state with echoes of moisture. It's sweeping the region. We're going to go down south first, where you can see over I-15. Cedar City clearing a little bit in St. George. The sun's out, but of course that adds to instability. The central portion of the state and the West Desert, really active skies there. And then we jump up to the Wasatch Front, where, yes, in and around Davis County, Weber County, Salt Lake, Utah County, we've got storms out there, blowing conditions with these storms with gusty winds, also stronger storms in the West Desert. North of Wendover, we did see some wind gusts towards Dugway, up to 55 miles per hour. And Logan, let's take a closer look, because over by Bear Lake, Randolph getting some lightning here in just the last 20 minutes. And we can see Cache Valley, Tremonton, all of those areas, Smithfield, dealing with storms right there on the state line. So active conditions up in northern Utah. Utah State University, of course, with graduation. We know that they had a lot of setups, and the winds wreaking some havoc up there. Satellite radar showing the cloud cover and those storms in the last few hours blossoming and pushing north along the Wasatch Front. The winds, they have been whipping. Did you notice that? Just unforgivable. That was coming out of Sandy. They're really strong. Southerly flow with gusty conditions. And this hour, we've just seen those gusts in Salt Lake, Provo. Look at Wendover, even Cache Valley, Price, Cedar City with a 44-mile-per-hour gust. So strong wind gusts here. And then you get a storm overhead, and it brings those outflow boundary winds. And yeah, definitely dealing with some gusty conditions. Drought monitor, it's Thursday. Now, we didn't move this week. We stayed where we were, which is actually great, because 37% of Utah not facing drought conditions. But why don't we compare this to last year, just to show you how this winter has performed? Look at those numbers. Everyone was in dry mode, moderate drought, severe drought, and even extreme drought. 43% of the state, just less than half of Utah, facing extreme drought 1 year ago. That winter coming in and cleaning things up when it comes to the drought monitor. We've got moisture out there, and the thunderstorm threat for tomorrow hangs on for the Wasatch Front, including Cache Valley, Tooele County, and all the way down to Utah County. Let's walk through the timing of these storms, because they're going to hang around for the next few hours, and then we get a little bit of a break. So we see them by 8 p.m. still along the Wasatch Front, Weber County. Remember, they're tracking north, so anything south of Salt Lake will move into Salt Lake with some gusty conditions. And then we quiet down for the overnight, calmer conditions and a pretty nice start to your Friday. But then things start to change. Yep, we do get a pulse of energy that's going to come on through a shortwave. It's a disturbance in the mid to upper atmosphere. It promotes lift ahead of it, and that's when we see our storms develop. Wasatch Plateau over to the Uinta Basin, central Utah, and we stay pretty active. Rolling into Saturday, northern Utah still has the chance of seeing some storms as well as showers. Snow level starts to drop, going to get down to 6,500 feet. We're in early May, folks. So yeah, we're still talking about the greatest snow on earth, but there's potential above 6,500 feet to see some snowflakes mixing in. But this is by 8 a.m. So Saturday's unsettled. Sunday stays unsettled. We have a long pattern. Threat of a thunderstorm, general risk there put out by the SPC for the northern portion of the state. Temperatures have cooled down. We had record warmth to start the week. No longer. 50s and 60s. That's actually where we should be. 67 is the average daytime high in Salt Lake, slightly below it for tomorrow. 70 in Moab, upper 60s in St. George, 60s in Delta. And you can't rule out a storm or a shower. All right, winds will be whipping in St. George, 60s, turning to 70s, eventually the 80s, but dry conditions. The Wasatch Front, a different pattern. We are very unsettled, and we stay that way. This upper level low moving in from California keeps us really unsettled and keeps sending disturbances through the Beehive State as it lifts through the region. And that's going to keep us with a chance of showers. Temperatures in the 60s, low 70s, pretty beautiful, close to where we should be this time of year. But eyes to the skies for the rest of the week and into the weekend. We have to be careful out there. Yeah.
Activity. All right. Thank you, Alana.
Yeah.
Time now for a look at sports with Wesley Ruff.
If you have a little extra money to spend, this may be for you.
Yeah, how much would you pay?